So we want to see what the momentum indicators are showing. On the daily, where are we at? So on the daily RSI, we're well below the 50 line, okay, the midway point. Worst case, you come back, you get oversold, similar to how we did here or here, okay? If you come down into here, you're probably looking at like this 95, 96,000 area. If you come down and hit the bottom of this. That's good in the sense that that means the flush has primarily taken place. And it's interesting how this cycle has played out, because I saw somebody make a thread about this. I put it inside the Discord. The way that this cycle has played out is altcoins have pretty much front run all of the moves that have taken place. Okay. So altcoins front run to the upside, meaning that as soon as altcoins start showing strength again, they start pumping again, they start moving up off of the lows. That's telegraphing the move off of Bitcoin. Vice versa, they've also been the front runners in terms of to the downside. So as altcoins started making lower highs and started to bleed, it was telegraphing the next move for Bitcoin. So that's important to pay attention to. Why? Well, because now we can say, we can determine market cap. We can determine what's happening with the market based off of these moves. So I'll show you something. So below is the others chart. This is the one that we've been tracking for altcoins, right? So if you look at it on the daily time frame, bottom essentially at the same time. Okay. Moving up together. Now take a look at this. So altcoins move up through here, right? So does Bitcoin. So from here, you can call it like to here. Okay. So it's moving up. This move was the top on altcoins, right? Right here. That would have been right here on Bitcoin, right as we reclaimed the top of this range. Okay. So pay attention to that. Then we bleed down as Bitcoin moves up, right? Or it's moving sideways. So altcoins bleed down as Bitcoin was moving sideways. So pay attention to this. Okay. So Bitcoin moves sideways. Altcoins were bleeding. Bitcoin here made a new high. A new high. Okay. Altcoins made a lower high. Okay. See what I'm looking at here? So Bitcoin makes a new high from this level, right? So it makes a new high. Altcoins made a lower high. So this was telegraphing, okay, hold on a second. Bitcoin wasn't going to go for it, wasn't going to break out. Altcoins sniffed that out. And this would have been the signal. Hold on a second. Bitcoin's at new highs. Altcoins are not running. We're not going to break out from here. And then you see altcoins break. Look, see? So look at this trend line. Trend line, lose it, bearish underside retest, bearish underside retest, breakdown. Bitcoin breaks down. So altcoins are telegraphing the move on Bitcoin before it even happens, which is really interesting because now we can pull signal from that and say, okay, if that's the case, has that happened in the past now? So let's take a look. So we'll get rid of this. let's go back into December, right? So this was the last big run up that we had on alts. So here was the bottom for alts, matches Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin runs up. Look at this. Look at this. Very interesting. So the high on altcoins, it topped here in December as Bitcoin was drifting higher. Okay. Bitcoin gets this little jeet, just tiny jeet. I mean, it went from like 104, wick down to 94,000. Okay. In this little jeet, altcoins jeeted too, and then floated back up a little bit. Bitcoin makes a new high here. Altcoins were lower than this high, which is over here. So it telegraphed again the drawdown on Bitcoin. Isn't that interesting? So this is new that I noticed, and I got that thread from X that was talking about this. So being that the case, now we can start to draw a little bit of signal from the moves on Bitcoin compared to altcoins. Okay. So vice versa, when Bitcoin bottoms, that's when you see alts bottom and start to move back up higher, right? Let's see if they did it again before. Yeah, look at this. Okay, here's the last run up in March of 24. Okay, when Pepe did the 10x run. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, so on the left-hand side, Bitcoin bottoms, altcoins bottom, so they'll bottom together. When does altcoins top? Altcoins topped right here, which was the Bitcoin top. Okay, draw down, push back up higher, draw down, push back up higher, making lower highs each time. Lower high, lower high, lower high. This is signal to take profits to start getting out of altcoins if you're trading them. So I see that and I say, okay, that's interesting. Because when you look at the altcoin chart, which is primarily what we're trading, right? We're holding altcoins, which we're trying to capture the 10, 15x moves as opposed to a couple of X's on majors, right? So if we're trading altcoins, the way that the altcoin chart behaves is it essentially runs straight up until it doesn't run anymore and it shoots back down. Okay. So what I mean by that. So let's look at this chart. So when altcoin chart is moving, it basically pumps straight up when you get these runs. Okay. So here off the lows, boom, straight up. Right. Effectively, look, effectively straight up. Then you get the pullback and then straight up. Okay. Then we top out, we distribute quick. This is when you want to get out on this little lower high, get out. Okay. We come all the way back down. Okay. Here we bottom. Altcoin chart goes straight up again. It's lower high, get out. Okay. So we do the same thing here now. So we're doing this similar move where here we broke out of the downtrend, come up, set up this lower low, and go straight up. That's potentially what we're doing right here. So we break the downtrend, come up, so we get this first pump back up, This first pump back up, you draw all the way back down, you break the market structure here and you make a lower low, right? You broke the market structure here, you make a lower low to this liquidity. And then when altcoins start running, it should be straight up. And it's going to be an explosive move. It will be. It's going to be fucking ridiculous. This is why it's going to be so incredible when it happens, because people are going to get so caught off guard just due to the sheer time it's taking to happen. But those who can outlast the market and outlast the other market participants are the ones who are going to win. A lot of it is just a war of attrition, right? Who's actually going to make it all the way to the end? Okay? So as we're looking at this, we got to say, okay, so there's signal in the fact that this chart's making lower lows, right? Comes down here. When we run and we run straight up, we hold. But as you start to see the topping take place and you start to see those lower highs off the altcoins, even though Bitcoin may be drifting up higher, Bitcoin drifting up higher is actually a false signal. So before you're thinking, oh, Bitcoin keeps going up higher, higher, and higher, altcoins should keep ripping, but they actually don't. I just showed you that they don't, and it's true because even though the price of Bitcoin is drifting up higher, you see the altcoin market caps coming back down, which is saying that Bitcoin is actually distributing. As it's moving up higher, floating up higher, it's actually distributing. And altcoins are sniffing that out, and people are getting out of those altcoins. So we're down here, and I say, okay, that's interesting. And look, I was right about this. I said, this area, you're at 102, 104K Bitcoin. We lost 102K. And look where we came back down into. We wicked into here. We got bought back up. But as Bitcoin continues to draw lower, 92 to 94K, you're going to see altcoins come back down into this demand zone. And then you're going to see that run back up higher. Okay? But now we're positioned in a way, or we understand that, okay, there's signal in how the price of Bitcoin's behaving, or excuse me, opposite, in the way that the others market cap is behaving, so that you can sniff out when Bitcoin's going to start distributing and when it's time to start taking profits on those altcoin positions.